Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. So today I thought I would just share with you a few of the fragrances I have been absolutely loving recently for this sort of autumnal weather we've been having. Before we start with those though, if it's your first time here then welcome. I create weekly videos about fragrance, so if that's something that would be of interest to you then feel free to click the subscribe button below before leaving the video. And of course, if you are a returning subscriber of mine, then a very warm welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me again. Let me know how you're doing in the comments. I don't know where to start, you guys. So there are quite a few I've been loving. I think I'm going to start with the most surprising. In fact, no, I'll leave that to the end. So the first fragrance I've really enjoyed this week in particular is my beautiful Parfum de Marly Athalia in this very regal looking bottle, very dramatic, very gorgeous, of course. Now, I absolutely love this fragrance, you guys. This is one of those perfumes that to me is like a work of art. Like the way that it smells, it really is very emotive for me. It paints a picture. It's almost kind of like, what's the word? Melancholic in the way this smells. And it kind of, who was it that said, actually, I think it was Lizzie from Rose and Jones, who once said that this fragrance reminds her of a rainy day, but kind of in like a nice romantic way. And I would just have to totally agree. So Athalia is a very unique fragrance, very, very feminine, and it has this gorgeous, cold, kind of powdery iris note in there that I absolutely love. It's a very sort of distinctive note, and I love how this fragrance kind of changes and evolves. I have certainly noticed that, you know, it can smell different on me sometimes, and it's just a very interesting, multi-layered, chameleon type of scent. So as I say, it has a main note of iris. You also have your musk in here. It's got a warm kind of undertone of amber. You have a little touch of incense, which funnily enough, that can be stronger sometimes more than other times. You also have a little bit of creamy vanilla in here. You have the orange blossom as well. Some bitter orange, I think it could be. And you guys, I've just been loving this perfume. I had a craving for it. When was it? Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday, and I wore it to work. And it's just one of those beautiful, long-lasting, dramatic scents that leaves a lasting impression. I just love this one. Let me know what you think of Athalia. I know there are some mixed opinions on this one. Not everyone gets on so well with it, and I can see why, to be honest. It's quite unusual. It's got this makeup compact vibe, but I definitely think, you know, if you were to pick up on the incense quite strongly, then that could be something that might put some people off. For me, certainly, sometimes I can smell that more than other times, but yesterday when I wore it, I just got this gorgeous, creamy, kind of powdery, irisy type of fragrance. Nice weighty cap on the Parfum de Marly fragrances, of course. Wow, you guys, it's just one of those instantly recognizable, signature-worthy, very dramatic types of fragrances that I would love to be sort of associated with. It's one of those scents that really has a lot of character to it. It's extremely feminine, as I say, and it's kind of understated in a way. It's not overly gushy. It's quite reserved. It's maybe a bit more like, I don't know if polite is the word, like it definitely has an edge to it, but it's more reserved. It's not what I would class as like a flirty scent. It's kind of modest is maybe the word. I'm not quite sure. It's got something kind of almost mysterious about it, and I just love this one. And it's kind of been a fragrance that for some reason it was like under my radar, or I hadn't really been thinking about it for a wee while, but it just occurred to me yesterday, you know, why have I not been wearing this one? And I had a craving for it. So yeah, as I say, it's a gorgeous iris scent, and for some reason that note is very alluring to me. I love the note of iris. If any of you know of any beautiful iris perfumes, can you please like let me know in the comments, because I'm actually on the lookout for some other fragrances with that note. Preferably something with maybe woody notes or vanilla in it as well. I quite like those types of scents, but I like the cold quality that iris can have and the kind of powdery quality it can have. I just think it's it's full of character and it's a beautiful, elegant note. So anyway, that one is Athalia from Parfum de Marly that I've kind of rediscovered. I'm so fair away with this one, you guys. Please let me know what you think of this one. I think it's quite underrated actually within the Parfum de Marly house. I mean, for me personally, I much prefer this to the Delina fragrance. You know, I think this is, I mean, I own Delina Exclusive, which I find that one to be quite different from the original Delina. I know Delina is probably the most iconic and well-known fragrance from Parfum de Marly. Athalia, I would say, is one of the lesser known, lesser talked about perfumes. And I think it deserves a little bit more discussion. It's a very beautiful fragrance anyway. So that one is Athalia from Parfum de Marly. I'm going to sit this one on my beautiful rose box. And the next one is another fragrance that I have kind of rediscovered and I'm just so excited about it, you guys. I did used to talk about it a fair bit on my channel, but that was probably last winter. I would definitely say this is like a warm, wintry, slightly spicy fragrance, and it kind of took a backseat over summer, particularly as we had quite a hot summer at times actually. But as I say, recently I've rediscovered it, and that one is Histoire de Parfum Amber 114. This fragrance is just incredible, you guys. And it's actually really strong. I forgot how strong this perfume is. You don't really need to spray so much of it. And basically this perfume to me, it reminds me a lot of Maison Francis Kurkdjian's Grand Soir, except this one is more complex. It's got a bit more of a kick to it with the spice, and it's more sort of multifaceted. It's got more of a kind of interesting development on the skin, whereas I find Grand Soir to be a little bit more linear in nature. So I have actually worn quite a lot of this recently. I'd actually forgotten about it, believe it or not, and I found this bottle again, and I thought, you know, what perfect timing as we're approaching the autumn and winter. What a perfect fragrance to start wearing again. It just gives me the most beautiful, cozy autumn vibes. It makes me feel like I'm sitting in some cozy cafe having like a pumpkin spice latte with a wee scarf on and reading a book or something, like all curled up. It gives me that feeling. So that one is Amber 114 from Histoire de Parfum. Me trying to get my French accent right there, probably failing miserably. Let me know if you've tried this one. In fact, also, let me know if you have any other recommendations from this house, because I am blown away by this one. This was a lovely recommendation from my subscriber Lisa, and I've just been completely blown away by it. So if you have any other recommendations from this house, be sure to send them my way, because I think, you know, this one in particular is a very high quality, long-lasting fragrance, full of character, and it's a beautiful one for the autumn and winter. So that one is Amber 114. And the next fragrances, I'm actually going to mention them together because I have been wearing them together most of the time. It's actually my two L'Intrudis, believe it or not. And oh my gosh, you guys, I don't even know where to start with this, because for a while, I genuinely, like really, I was considering decluttering both of them. No, I thought I was going to declutter the original, and at one point I was really struggling with the Intense. So, you know, who knows, in different circumstances, I might have actually just gone ahead and like gotten rid of them, but I'm so glad I kept them, you guys. I'm just so glad, like I'm so relieved that I've kept them in my collection, because these two have actually been my most worn fragrances in my whole collection, especially in the last few weeks. This has just been my, you know, my go-to combination. So I usually will spray, in fact, I don't think I have a set order. I will just like start with one and then I will spray the other one over top again. And I just find that, because sometimes I can find the original L'Intrudis a wee bit sharp with that vetiver, and with the, I think it has patchouli in here as well. And actually the intense version is much creamier. It's got the sesame notes, more vanilla. It's a much creamier, softer type of scent. And when you add some of this to the original one, they just kind of balance each other out, and it smoothens out and adds a little bit of creaminess. And I think it's just wonderful, you know, together. So yeah, this has been my go-to combination. Some days I wore just the intense, you know, some days I wore just the original, but most of the time I've actually been layering the two, and I just have absolutely been loving them, you guys. Now, for a while I thought I might have picked up the Rouge version. I think that's a beautiful perfume. I love the bottle of the Rouge. I love the concept of it, but I'm just not really sure because I've been loving these so much. I'm just not even sure if I prefer the Rouge anymore because of how much I've grown to enjoy these two. So I don't know if I need that one in my collection anymore. Let me know if you have a preference out of the Linterdy line, or if they're kind of too strong for you. I know they are a bit much for some people, as they were for me at one point. Particularly, see the intense Linterdy. I remember a point in the summer, actually, you know, the height of summer when we were having some really warm weather, I found this fragrance actually quite nauseating, and I was really like struggling with it big time. Like I actively would avoid it, which was quite disheartening because I thought, like, am I ever actually going to wear it again? So I'm just really excited and happy to have sort of like rediscovered these ones as well, and to be getting some really good use out of them. They've definitely been my most worn perfumes. Maybe even the last month, I've been wearing these two a lot, like together. So anyway, that's Linterdy, the original EDP from Givenchy, and then the intense version as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to click subscribe so you never miss a future video from me. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye!